Okay, so let's start na dun sa lesson 1, so ng complex analysis. So yung algebra of complex number. So define ko lang muna natin sa complex number. So complex number is the set in the form z is equal to x plus iy, where x and y are element of real numbers and I is equal to square root of negative 1. Okay, so in set notation, that is yung set c is equal to the set z is equal to x plus iy such that x, y is an element of real number and I is equal to square root of negative 1. So note that the standard form of a complex number is z is equal to x plus iy. So ito yung unang form na ipapakilala ko. So actually 6 or 7 siya. So standard form, RCF, SRCF, exponential form, trigonometric form, polar form. So madami talagang form yan. So sa mga susunod na exam, possible ang tanong, yung sagot dapat in this form. So dapat aware ka kung paano i-transform. So ito muna yung i-focus natin, si standard form. Okay, si z is equal to x plus iy. So before tayo mag-start po dun sa ibang terms dito, saka sa mga formula or operation dito. So naalala niyo naman siguro si real number. Okay, yung set of real numbers sa number system, siya yung composed ng rational saka irrational. Okay, so siya yung union ng rational saka irrational. Okay, so sa kabilang part niya is the imaginary number or the set of imaginary numbers. So ano yung mga imaginary numbers na yun? So ito yung mga number na kung saan meron silang attachment or extended by I. So for example, si 3i, si negative 2i, si ei, si pi i. So para siyang extension, so kung umabot kayo sa abstract 2, that is extension of real number together with I. Okay, ganyan yung nangyayari doon. So, hindi ko pwede sabihin kung sino mas maraming sa dalawa. Mas marami yung real number, mas marami imaginary number. So, I guess para sila uncountable. So, pagkakaalala ko sa sinabi sa set theory, para sila uncountable. So, hindi ko pwede sabihin kung equal sila. Okay, so another, si real number, pag pinagsama natin silang dalawa, sila si complex number. Okay, so baka kasi maguluhan kayo eh. So baka isipin nyo, pag sinabi ko set of imaginary number, equal lang siya sa set of complex number. No, set of complex number, siya yung addition or yung sum ng real number saka ng imaginary number. Okay, so hindi rin lagi necessary dapat sum siya ng dalawa. So possible na real number lang siya, for example 0, real number siya at the same time complex number. So at the same time si 2i. Si 2i, so imaginary number siya, pero complex number din siya. Okay, so kaya nga sinasakop lang siya ni complex number eh. Okay, so tandaan nyo yung part na yan. So importante yan para ma-analyze mo, okay, ganito pala siya, ganito pala yung kwento niya. So at the same time, tignan nyo yung formula. Z is equal to x plus iy, sorry, yung form. Okay, so kung napansin mo, that is x plus iy. Yun yung given. Sir, ba't lagi na una si i? So ito yung form, ito lang yung way para ma-emphasize na ito yung imaginary part. Okay, ito yung imaginary number part ng complex number natin. Pero kung nagsusulat ka na ng example, so for example, nagsulat ka that z is equal to 2 plus 3i. So pag naglagay na ako ng example, z is equal to 2 plus 3i, na-notice mo, hindi nauuna yung i. Okay, so sir, ba't hindi mo nauna na i? So okay lang naman mauna yung i. So for example, 2 plus i3, okay lang naman. Pero kung titignan mo, para siyang dating is parang specs ng computer, i3, i5, i7, negative i4. So yung ganun yung nangyayari. So parang gusto ko lang i-ano sa inyo, para siyang notation. So in general, notation yung iy. Okay, so para lang ma-emphasize na dun sa may form natin na ito yung imaginary part. Pero in case na pag-resolve ka na, pag actual number na, syempre isunod mo na yung i. So okay lang naman kahit i3. So maintindihan ko naman yun. Okay, so tandaan yung part na yan ha. So dun sa may complex number natin yan. Okay, so again, standard form muna tayo. So sa next video, yun yung SRCF, RCF tayo. So proceed tayo ulit. So let's have the real part of z. So ano yung real part of z? Real part of z is defined to be re of z is equal to x. So based dun sa formula, okay, ano yung real part of z? So note that is only yung x. Okay, so tandaan. So for example, nagbigay si sir ng z is equal to 2 minus 3i. Okay, so what is the real part of z? The real part of z is equal to 2. Okay, so yan yung real part. So another example, let z sub 1 is equal to 2. So, real complex number yan. Yes, complex number yan. Again, sinabi ko nga kanina. So, real number ka, complex number ka. Imaginary number ka, complex number ka. 2 plus 3i ka, best complex number ka. This means nakikita mo. Okay, so, real number yan at the same time complex number. So, since wala ka nakikita merong i, real number pa rin siya. So, ano yung real part niya? Yung real part ng z sub 1 is equal to 2. Okay, so sana may maintindihan. So, another example, let's have c sub 2. Okay, so that is negative 2i. Okay, so nagbago. So, sir, wala naman po siyang parang real part. So, dahil wala siyang real part, hindi mo pwede sabing empty. Okay, so pinag-uusapan dito number. So, pag wala siyang real part, so, lagay ko lang to. So, this is equal sa 0 minus 2i. So, para lang maintindihan mo ano lalagay mo pag wala ka nakikitang real part. So, meaning, ano yung real part of z2? Real part of z2 is equal to 0. Okay, so tandaan niyo yung mga part na yan. Okay, so proceed tayo sa may next definition. So let's have the imaginary part of z is defined to be the im of z is equal to y, or the imaginary part of z is equal to y. So kung papansinin mo, ano yung imaginary part of z? The imaginary part of z, mula dun sa ating form, is only yung real number na naka-attach sa i. Okay, so tandaan na, included dyan yung sign. Tandaan mo na yung real part of z is yung real number na naka-attach dun sa i. Hindi mo isasama si i. Tandaan yung definition na yan. So, for example, refer tayo dun sa example sa taas. Ano yung imaginary part of z? Okay, yung imaginary part of z sa taas is obviously si negative 3. Okay, so hindi ko isasama si i. Tandaan yun. Okay, next. Ano naman yung imaginary part ni c sub 1 sa taas? So, dun sa c sub 1, ang imaginary part niya, sir, wala po ako nakikita dyang i eh. So, note, pwede ko extend kasi dyan eh. That is times 0 i. So, para lang maintindihan mo ulit ano ilalagay dyan. So, ano yung imaginary part ni c sub 1? So, obviously, that is 0. So, kung wala ka nakikita, ilagay mo 0. Kung wala ka nakikita, may nakatouch na i. Then, lastly, what is the imaginary part of c sub 2? Okay, the imaginary part of c sub 2 is obviously sin negative 2. Okay, so hoping na clear tayo sa bagay na yan. Real part as imaginary part as standard form. Okay, so proceed tayo dun sa operation since kailangan ko lang naman happyawan to mga to. Kasi basic lang naman to. Algebra lang naman. Okay, so let's have operation. Let z, w, element of complex number such that z is equal to a plus bi and z is equal to z plus di. Okay, so for sum, lagay ko na lang dito. So for sum a, b, c, and d element of real number. Okay, so dapat nilalagay ko yan. So then, addition, z plus w is equal to a plus c plus I times b plus d. So, ano napansin mo pag nag-add ka ng dalawang complex number? Pag nag-add ka ng dalawang complex number, so ang una mo lang gagawin, i-add mo yung real part, i-add mo yung imaginary part, then proceed sa formula. So again, ulit ko, i-add mo lang yung real part dun sa isa, i-add mo lang din yung imaginary part dun sa isa, then attach mo yung I. So hindi magko-combine yung may I saka yung walang I. Okay, tandaan nyo yan. So for example, lagay lang ako dito. So let's c sub 1 is equal to 2 minus 3i. Tapos yung c sub 2 ko is equal to 4 plus 5i. Okay, so find natin si c sub 1 plus c sub 2. Okay, so ano sabi ni formula? Sabi ni formula, i-add ko lang yung a, then c. Ano ba yung a and c? Nare-represent si a nung real part nung z. Nare-represent si c nung real part nung w. Okay, so ang gagawin ko lang, i-add ko yung real part ng z sub 1 sa real part ng z sub 2. So this is equal sa 2, okay, then plus 4. Okay, then plus, so for the meantime, hindi ko nalalagay yung i sa unahan kasi may involved ng number. So, una, yung imaginary part ng z sub 1 is negative 3. Then plus, imaginary part ng z sub 2, that is 5. Then attach mo dito si i. So, wag ka kakalimutan yan. Okay, so therefore, what is the answer? 2 plus 4 is 6. Then negative 3 plus 5 is 2. Then attach natin si i. So therefore, ito yung kanilang sum. Okay, so ang basic lang talaga ni addition of complex number. Wala ka ibang gagawin, ganyan lang. Okay, so tandaan. Sir, paano po ba naging ganyan yung formula? So para ma-verify din natin paano naging ganyan yung formula, use natin yung binigay. So sabi, C plus W is equal to A plus BI. So again, i-add ko muna. Then that is plus C plus DI. Okay, so magkakaroon ako ng konting regrouping. Pagsasamahin ko yung like terms sa yung constant. So, yung constant dyan is si A sa si C since wala naman silang attachment na parang variable I. So, that is equals sa A plus C. Okay, then plus BI plus DI. So, nagkonting aso ako tapos commutative. Pinagsama-sama ko lang yung merong yung constant tapos yung merong mga attachment I. So, next is, this is equal sa A plus C. Then, factor out natin si I. That is I times B plus D. Okay? So, therefore, nakuha natin yung formula. So, ang basic lang. Actually, parang dinerive ko lang siya. Okay? So, next proceed tayo sa next operation. Let's have subtraction. So, that is C minus W. So, kanina sa addition, kung pag nag-add tayo, ang ginagawa natin is ina-add natin yung real part sa real part, ina-add natin imaginary part sa imaginary part. Pagdating naman subtraction, obvious lang din. So, yung una, minus dun sa pangalawa. Yung real part ng una, minus dun sa real part ng pangalawa. Then, imaginary part ng isa, minus sa imaginary part ng isa. So, again, tandaan mo, sino yung subtrahend, sino yung minuend. So, baka kasi, sir, pwede ba commutative pag balik-baliktarin ko? No, hindi. Depende dun sa given. So, kung nauna tong part na to, yung z sub 1, unahin mo z sub 1. Hindi yung pwedeng gawin mo, gusto mo na pagbalik-baliktarin. So, hindi commutative yung subtraction. Okay, tandaan yan. So, for example, refer tayo dun sa example. What is c sub 1 minus c sub 2? So, again, naka-refer lang ako dun sa taas. So, ang sabi, that is a minus c. What is a? Yung a natin sa taas is 2. Okay? Yung c natin sa taas is negative. Is 4. That is a minus c. That is 2 minus 4. Plus, next, yung b natin sa taas is negative 3i. Okay? Yung b natin sa taas is negative 3i. So, lagay ka lang dito. That is negative. Yung b natin sa taas is negative 3. Okay, then next. Yung ating d is 5. Okay, so that is minus 5. Then, attach ko si I. Okay, so sorry, medyo nalito ako sa part na yun. Then, next is equal to 2 minus 4 is equal to negative 2. Then, negative 3 minus negative 5 is negative 8. Then, that is minus 8i. So, therefore, ito yung kanyang sagot. Okay, so hoping na mas madalian kayo sa ganyang part since madali lang ang subtraction. Tandaan mo lang wag mong pag-ibayin si subtrahend sa kasi minuend, wag niyo pagpalit-palitin yan. So kung sino yung re-record na unahin, gawin natin. Okay, so proceed tayo doon sa next operation. Hindi ko na i-derive, bakit ganyan? Similar lang din ang mangyayari doon. Okay, so proceed tayo sa next operation. Okay guys, so ito yung next operation, the multiplication of two complex number. What is z times w? Z times w is equal to ac minus bd. Okay, then plus I times ad plus bc. So, kung titignan mo, sir, paano po na-derive yung formula na yan? So, i-derive muna natin para at least makita nyo kung paano nangyari. So, consider natin z times w. Okay, so naka-refer pa rin daw sa given na z is equal to a plus bi, w is equal to z plus di. Okay, so product nila, that is a plus bi. Okay, multiplied by c plus di. Okay, so using the FOIL method or yung usual yung distribute lang, so that is multiply a times c, so part na yan. Okay, then plus a times di o a di. Okay, so itong part na next na to. Okay, next. Yung inner part, that is bi times c, so that is plus bci. Then lastly, yung part na di, so that is plus bd. I times I is I squared. Okay, so naalala nyo na note that dinefine natin si I b equals sa negative, square root of negative 1. So, what do you think? What is I squared? So, pag in-square ko both sides yan, I squared is equal to negative 1. So, meaning, yung I squared na yun, pwede kong palitan na negative 1. So, this is equal sa AC plus, factor out ko na ng I dito, that is I times AD plus BC minus, kasi BD yun, that is BD. So, nasan yung, paano naging minus? Yung I squared, pinalitan ko ng negative 1. Negative 1 times BD is negative BD. Okay, so obviously, negative BD, wala nang I. So, sama na lang natin siya sa AC. So, obviously, that is AC minus BD plus I times AD plus BC. So, therefore, ito yung kanyang formula. Nakuha natin dun sa may taas. Okay, so, may dadagdag lang konti regarding sa nangyari nakaraan. So, doon sa kaninang example natin, doon sa kaninang dalawang operation. So, ano yung real part ni Z plus W? Ang real part ni Z plus W is A plus C. Okay? Likewise, ano yung imaginary part niya? So, imaginary part ni Z is equal sa B plus D. Kasi yun yung merong I. So, at the same time, real part ng Z minus W, imaginary part ng Z minus W, ayun din, yung A minus C, tapos yung B minus D. So, dito sa multiplication, ano yung real part ng Z times W? Simply that is AC minus BD. Imaginary part niya ng Z times W is equal to AD plus BC. Okay, so pwede ko kasing paglaro-laruan yung tanong eh. So, kunyari, ang tanong ko, what is the real part of the product of ganito? What is the real part of the difference times the product times the sum? Yung ganun yung gagawin ko. So, dapat naging aware ka, dapat isolve ko muna bago ko kunin yung real part. Hindi yung real part ng real part or imaginary part ko muna bago mo isolve. Okay, so depende yan sa given. Okay, so for example, lagay lang example dito. For example, Z is equal to 2 plus 3i. W is equal to negative 5i and U is equal to 4. So, pansinin nyo yung tatlong binigay ko. Yung unang binigay ko is merong real part, may imaginary part. Yung pangalawang binigay ko, walang real part, or may real part which is 0, pero hindi siya visible. Okay, so purely imaginary siya. Then, pagdating sa may U ko, purely real number lang siya, so 4. Although lahat sila complex number. So, anong papagawa mo, sir? So, operate natin si Z plus W times U. Okay, so medyo sir, paano yan? So, syempre, ang gagawin mo, katulad lang dati yung ginagawa mo sa PEMDAS, unahin mo yung addition or yung nasa loob ng exponent, nasa loob ng parenthesis bago ka mag-proceed sa ibang operation. So, una, Z plus W. What is Z plus W? So, this is equal sa 2 plus 3i plus negative 5i. Ito yung Z plus W multiplied by U, which is 4. Okay, then sa loob, apply mo yung formula natin. So, hindi na yung tipong kung ano pang ginagawa mo. I-apply mo na agad yung formula natin. So, that is equal sa, this is 2 plus 0. Since wala naman real part yung W natin. Then, plus, that is 3 minus 5i. Sir, bakit naging minus 5? Kasi negative yon. So, that is 3 plus negative 5. Then, multiplied by I. Okay, then multiplied by 4 sa labas. Okay, then, simplify natin further to. Itong part na to is equal sa 2 minus 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So, that is minus 2i multiplied by 4. Next, i-multiply natin 4. Distribute lang natin siya sa ganun part. So, that is equal to 8 minus 8i. So, therefore, ito yung sum. Okay, so check natin another. So, what is the real part of Z minus W multiplied by U? So, medyo tricky. Saan anong gagawin? Z minus W times U. So, sabi ko nga, sundin mo yung rule ng PEMDAS natin. So, probably, mag-multiply mo na ng W sa U. Okay, so sundin natin si formula ng W sa U. So, sabi ng formula, hindi ko muna kukunin yung real part. Solve muna natin Z minus W times U. Okay, so that is equal sa, ano si Z? That is 2 plus 3i. Okay, lagyan ko ng group. Minus W. W is negative 5i multiplied by U, that is 4. Okay, then sundin natin yung formula sa taas. Ano sabi ng product? Ang sabi ng product, inner, outer, first term multiply minus yung product, product ng real part minus product ng imaginary part plus outer plus inner, product ng inner. Or simply, ayusin ko lang to. Yung W kasi natin is equal to 0 minus 5i. Yung U kasi natin is equal sa 4 plus 0i. Para lang masunod yung formula na AZ minus BD plus I times AD plus BC. Okay? So, this is equal sa 2 plus 3i minus, i-multiply ka na dito. So, ano sabi? AC minus BD. So, ito yung AC. So, 0 times 4. Okay, so minus BD, that is 5 times 0. So, ito yung una. So, sabi sa formula, AC minus BD. Okay, then next, plus I, hindi ko lalagay I kasi nga may number na involved. Next is AD plus BD. So, that is 0 times 0. Okay, so that is 0 times 0. Then, plus BC. That is BC, negative 5 times 4. So, that is negative 5 times 4. Okay, then attach ko dito si I. Okay, so next natin, simplify further, that is equal sa 2 plus 3i minus 0 times 4 minus 5 times 0 is 0. So, wala nangyari doon. Okay, so that is 0. Then, 0 times 0 plus negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. So, simply, this is negative 20i. Okay, then, proceed tayo ulit dahil subtraction nakalagay dyan. Gamitin natin yung formula. This is equal sa 2 minus 0. Kasi 0 doon. Okay, then, plus, this is 3 minus 20 multiplied by I. So, therefore, this is equal sa 2 minus 17i. Kasi 3 minus 20 is negative 17. Pero, ang tanong, yung real part niyan. So, ano yung sagot? Therefore, the real part of Z minus W times U is equal to 2. So, ito yung ating sagot. Okay, so again, tandaan mo yung mga ganyan scenario. Possible kasi nasa loob yung real part. Pwede nga gawin ko, what is the real part of imaginary part of real part of ganito. Okay, so depende sa binibigay na tanong na siya. So sabi ko nga, ang key dito, tandaan mo na yung basic, apply mo na yung algebra, pahirapan mo lang konti sarili mo, ganun lang din yun. So hindi siya magmumukhang mahirap. Okay, so proceed tayo sa next definition. So next definition, equal complex number. So paano ba magiging equal yung dalawang complex number? Ano ba yung mga criteria? Okay, so let Z and W element ng complex number such that Z is equal to A plus BI and W is equal to Z plus DI. Okay, then for some A, B, C, D element ng real number, we say that Z is equal to W. If and only if, again yung term na if and only if sa logic yan, if and only if A is equal to C and B is equal to D. Okay, so tandaan mo yung word na and. So dahil parang logic to, dahil may word na end, paano ba magiging true ang conjunction? Magiging true ang conjunction pag yung both conjuncts o lahat ng conjuncts is true. So meaning, dapat equal si A kay C, equal si B kay D. So ngayon, in terms of definition natin, baguhin natin. Magiging equal yung dalawang complex number pag yung real part ng Z is equal sa real part ng W and imaginary part of Z is equal to imaginary part of W. So, ganun kasimple. So, again, and, yung word na and, meaning dapat yung dalawa nag-exist. So, hindi na ako magbibigay ng example paano mo sabing equal yung dalawang complex number? Let's say, ano na lang yan, isolve na lang natin para mas magamit natin. So, ang gara kasi bibigay ako, z is equal to 2 plus 2i, w is equal to 2 plus 2i. Yung obvious naman equal, tapos sabihin ko hindi equal. So, malalaman mo naman kung hindi equal kasi alam mo ano itsura ng number. Okay, so example tayo. For what values of x and y? So, again, application na agad to ng equal complex number. Ang nakalagay, for what values of x and y, z is equal to w such that z is equal to 3 times x plus 4 plus I times y minus 3. And w is equal to x plus 3 plus I times 1 minus y. Okay, so, ang tanong, ano yung value ng x and y? Okay, para lang mag-equal yung z and w. So, okay, so proceed tayo dito. Ang gawin, re-rate ko muna lahat para mas makita natin. Given z is equal to 3 times x plus 4 plus I times y minus 3. Okay, next, w is equal to x plus 3. Okay, ayun yun. Plus I times 1 minus y. Okay, so para mas mapadali tayo, identify natin sino yung si real part, ano yung real part ng dalawa, saka imaginary part. So yung real part nung z natin dito is yung walang I. So that is 3 times x plus 4. So next is the imaginary part. Nung z natin is equal to y minus 3. So again, tandaan, ba't hindi kasama si I? Yun yung definition ng imaginary part of z. Hindi sinasama yung extension I. Okay, so next is the real part of w. Okay, so the real part of w is x plus 3 and the imaginary part of w is equal to 1 minus y. Okay, so ang goal natin, hanapin natin yung value na x and y in which magiging equal yung dalawang complex number natin, z is equal to w. So by definition of equal complex number, okay, so equal complex number natin. Okay, so ang sabi, real part of z is equal to real part of w. Okay, yung kasi yung sabi. So therefore, i-equate natin si 3 times x plus 4. Okay, equal siya kay x plus 3. Okay, then solve algebraically. 3x, this is 3x plus 12 kasi 3 times 4 is 12 is equal to x plus 3. Then, konting addition property of equality lang. So, magma-minus ako both side ng negative x. Then, magma-minus ako both side ng negative 12. Or mag-add ako both side ng negative x. Mag-add ako both side ng negative 12. So, that is 3x. Okay, minus x. Which is equal sa 3 minus 12. This is equal sa 2x minus negative 9. So, therefore, multiply both side by 1 over 2. Okay, so that is equal sa negative 9 over 2. So, ito yung value ng x. Okay, so check nga natin kung tama yung pagkakasolve, sir. Baka nagkamali. So, 3 times x, then 3x. Okay, so tama naman yung pagkakasolve, sir. Okay, so sorry din medyo on the spot kasi ko sinusolve din lahat to. So on the spot ko siya dinidiscuss, on the spot din yung mga example. So binabasa ko lang yung definition, gawa-gawa. Okay, so hindi nyo medyo alanganin sa akin, pasensya na. Pero don't worry, kabisado pa naman siya. That is, imaginary part of z is equal to imaginary part of w. Okay, so paano maging equal imaginary part? So imaginary part is equal sa y minus 3, which is equal sa 1 minus y. Then again, by addition property of equality, that is y plus y, which is equal sa 1 plus 3, and this is equal sa 2y, equal sa 4. Then multiply both side by 1 half or divide both side by 2, that is y is equal to 2. Okay, so therefore, ito yung value ng x and y. Ang value ng x is negative 9 over 2. Ang value ng y is 2. So, check lang natin para malaman natin kung tama yan. So, let's have c. Z is equal to 3 times negative 9 over 2 plus 4. Okay, then that is plus I times y. Y is 2. That is 2 minus 3. Okay, so this is equal sa 3 multiplied by, add tayo ng fraction sa kanang whole number. That is negative 9 plus 8 over 2. Okay, then plus I times negative 1. So, simply this is negative 9 plus 8, that is negative 1. So, that is negative 1 half. So, that is negative 3 over 2. So, that is negative 3 over 2 minus I. So, to z, c. Okay, so check natin kay x. Kay w, sorry. Kay w is equal sa x plus 3. So, that is negative 9 over 2 plus 3. Okay, then plus I. So, group ko lang to. I, then multiplied by 1 minus y. That's 1 minus 2. Okay, so negative 9 over 2 plus 3 is equal sa negative 9 plus 6 over 2. Okay, then the plus I times negative 1. Okay, so obviously, this is negative 3 over 2 minus I. Okay, so therefore, equal yung dalawa. Okay, so tama yung value ng x and y natin. So, ganyan yung ginagawa or ginagamit yung definition of equal complex number. Okay? Okay guys, so let's have yung last topic natin dito sa ating algebra complex number or sa lesson 1. So, I have this a proposition. So, actually ako lang nagsabi na proposition siya although na-prove dun sa subtract algebra. So, sinabi ko lang siya na proposition dito sa complex number. So, para at least ma-refresh lang din kayo about abstract algebra. Okay, so assuming na hindi ko alam na totoo pa yan, so wala pang truth value kung talagang group siya. So number 1, z comma plus is a group. Number 2, z asterisk comma multiplication is also a group. Okay, so kung napansin nyo, doon sa may assignment, naglagay ako ng tinanong kong ring siya. So pinrove nyo naman yun. Okay, so gagawin ko lang yung 1, kayo doon sa may 2. Okay, so exercise yun na yung 2. So 1, prove natin na z comma plus is a group. So, ito yung proof ng number 1. Okay? So, paano ba tayo mag-prove ng group by the way? So, pag nag-prove tayo ng group, una, dapat close under the binary operation. Next, associative dapat yung binary operation natin. Okay? Number 3, dapat nag-exist yung identity element. At the same time, yung identity element is unique. Okay? Next, lastly, dapat nag-exist yung kanyang inverse. Also, dapat sorry, hindi ko pwede sabihin unique yung inverse. So, dapat yung inverse is nag-iisa lang. For example, may isang number, may inverse siyang sarili. So, hindi pwedeng isang number, dalawa inverse, or may dalawang number magkapares ng inverse. Okay, so dapat ganun yung mangyari dito. Okay, so doon tayo sa may 1, proof ng 1. Okay, so let tayo ng element ng complex number. So, let z and w, then dagdagan ko na, and u, element ng complex number. So kasi gagamit din tayo ng tatlong element. Okay, so such that si z is equal to a plus bi, si w is equal to z plus di, and si u is equal to e plus fi. Okay, so again, for some, so that is for some A, B, C, D, E, and F element ng real number. And I is equal to square root of negative 1. Okay, so at least well define natin lahat ng mga gagamitin natin. So check natin kung siya ay close under the binary operation. So consider si Z asterisk W. So, si z asterisk w ba element ni complex number? So, ito yung tanong. So, that is equal sa z plus w. Kasi the binary operation na ginamit natin sa 1 is plus. Okay? Note that yung definition natin na addition of two complex number, pag nag-add tayo ng dalawang complex number, that is simply A plus C times B plus B. So times plus I times B plus D. Okay? So yan yung element ng complex number. So note that A plus C is an element of real number. Also, si B plus D is an element of real number. So real number plus I attachment with the real number is element of complex number. So therefore, yung A plus C plus I times BD is an element of complex number, which implies that Z plus W is an element of complex number, which implies also that Z asterisk W is an element of complex number. Okay, so therefore this is closed under the binary operation plus. Okay, so the set of complex number is closed under the binary operation plus. Okay, so next proceed tayo sa isa. So associativity. So actually pwede kong i-state na lang to eh. So kasi nga associativity, addition satisfies associativity naman. Okay, so note that addition satisfies associativity or associativity under the set of complex number. Okay, so kahit pabalik-baliktarin mo naman yun, walang mangyayari. Okay, so addition naman siya. Okay, so similar na result. Okay, so next is existence ng identity element. So paano ba identity element natin? So for all Z, sabi doon, so that is for all Z. Ito yung una, ito yung pangalawa, ito yung pangatlo. Okay, so for all Z element ng complex number, there exists an E. Okay, so since nagamit ko na yung E doon, E prime na lang gamitin ko. There exists an E prime element din ng complex number such that, ano yung sabi ng such that? Z asterisk E prime is equal to Z is equal to E prime asterisk Z. Okay, so kunin ko na yung left identity. So kayo na bahala doon sa right identity. Ayoko na i-show na unique siya. Kasi obvious naman unique yan at the end. So consider lang natin dito si left identity. Okay, so ito. Right identity siya. So that is Z asterisk E prime is equal to Z. Okay, note that the binary operation is addition. So that is Z plus E prime, which is equal sa Z. Okay, then ilipat lang natin sa kabila yung Z. That is E prime is equal to Z minus Z, which is equal sa E prime is equal to 0. Okay, note that 0 na yan, that is E prime is equal to 0 plus 0i, in which ito ay element ng complex number. Although ito palang element na ng complex number. Okay, nilagay ko lang ng ganyan yung form. Okay, so therefore the identity element ng complex number under addition is 0 or 0 plus 0 plus 0i. Okay, so therefore nag-i-exist yung kanyang identity element. So lastly, check natin yung kanyang inverse. So paano yung inverse? For all Z element of complex number, okay, so there exists Z inverse, okay, element ng complex number din, okay, such that Z asterisk Z inverse is equal to E is equal to Z inverse asterisk Z. Okay, so kunin ko naman dito yung right inverse niya. Okay, kanina kasi kinuha ko yung left identity. So kunin ko naman, right identity. Ngayon kunin ko naman yung left inverse. So consider natin tong part na to. So consider si E is equal to Z inverse asterisk Z. Note that yung E natin is 0. Okay, which is equal to Z inverse plus Z. Okay? Note that this is equals sa 0 minus negative z is equal to z inverse. Okay? So what is z? Z is a plus bi. So that is 0 minus a plus bi is equal to z inverse. Okay? So therefore, ito ay equal sa z inverse is equal sa negative a minus bi. Okay, so note that negative a and negative b is also an element of real number pa rin. So therefore si z inverse, which is equal sa negative a minus bi, is also an element of complex number. So therefore nag-i-exist yung kanyang inverse. So paano yung inverse na? Yung negative. Okay, yung negative lang. So for example, 2 plus 3i, i-negative lang yun, that is negative minus 3i. Yun yung kanyang inverse. Okay, so therefore, meron siyang close siya, associative siya, nag-i-exist yung kanyang identity, nag-i-exist yung kanyang inverse. So therefore, yung z, comma plus is a group. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so that's all for this lesson. So proceed tayo sa may lesson 2, hoping na pinapanood nyo para at least guided kayo sa mga nangyayari.